What if I told you there are engines so indestructible they've outlived multiple generations of the cars they were built for? Engineers designed these 12 European power plants with such incredible durability that some have surpassed 500,000 miles without major repairs. These aren't just ordinary engines, they're mechanical masterpieces that refuse to die. From German diesel workhorses to Italian V12 thoroughbreds, we're about to reveal why these 12 European engines are still running strong in 2025, while countless others have long since been scrapped. Watch how a tiny French twin-cylinder outlasted its quirky car by decades, and why mechanics still smile when they see certain Mercedes V8s roll into their shops. Number 12. Volkswagen TDIALH engine. Imagine buying a Volkswagen in 1997, then watching it rust away while the engine inside still runs perfectly in 2025. That's exactly what happened with Volkswagen's legendary 1.9-liter TDIALH engine. When Volkswagen released this simple four-cylinder diesel, nobody expected it would still be powering cars almost 30 years later. These engines won't quit because of their cast iron block that simply refuses to crack even after hundreds of thousands of miles. The straightforward single overhead camshaft design means fewer parts to break, while the direct injection system was revolutionary for reliability at the time. Number 11. Mercedes-Benz M113 V8 engine. While Volkswagen's diesel engines might be famous for their longevity, Mercedes-Benz accidentally created something just as impressive with their gasoline V8. The M113 engine has become automotive royalty not for being revolutionary, but simply because it refuses to die. These engines are regularly outliving the luxury cars they were originally installed in. What's fascinating is that Mercedes never advertised these engines as anything special. They were just standard V8s across their lineup, but mechanics routinely find these engines with over 300,000 miles showing minimal internal wear. The secret? An aluminum block with cast-in iron cylinder liners provides the perfect balance of lightweight and strength, while the SOHC design keeps things simpler than competing DOHC setups. Number 10. BMW M57 3.0-liter diesel engine. Just as Mercedes V8s find new homes in custom builds, there's a BMW diesel that's become the secret weapon for off-road enthusiasts and efficiency seekers alike. Have you noticed how certain 3.0-liter BMW diesels from the late 90s are disappearing from junkyards faster than free tools at a garage sale? The M57 Straight-Six was originally just another power plant in BMW's lineup, but it's evolved into something far more valuable. While many BMW gasoline engines develop notorious issues with age, this iron block diesel just keeps running. The combination of robust construction with advanced injection technology created something that delivers performance figures still impressive by today's standards. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Number 9. Jaguar AJV8 engine. While the BMW diesel commands premium prices on the used market, there's another unexpected engine survivor that shattered every reliability stereotype. When you think of British luxury cars, you probably imagine roadside breakdowns and expensive repair bills, but Jaguar's AJV8 engine rewrote that story completely. The AJV 8.2-liter features a deep skirt block design that gives it incredible structural integrity. This design approach prevents the engine from developing cracks even after hundreds of thousands of miles of hard use. The initial versions actually suffered from problematic Nikasil cylinder linings. But once Jaguar switched to traditional cast iron liners, these engines became virtually indestructible. Number 8. Peugeot XUD diesel engine. The Jaguar engine might impress with its luxury heritage, but there's a humble French power plant that might be the most immortal engine ever created. Back in 1982, Peugeot introduced something truly special with their XUD diesel, though they never actually meant it to be revolutionary. This unassuming workhorse featured an indirect injection system that could handle fuel so poor it would stall most modern engines. While the Peugeot 405s and Citroën BXs rusted into oblivion around them, these engines stubbornly kept running decade after decade. What's incredible is how these engines escaped their original homes. The 1.9-liter variant became so renowned for reliability that it spread across brands like Rover and Fiat. In Africa's most remote regions, local mechanics learned to rebuild XUDs using little more than basic hand tools and improvised parts. Number 7. Renault K9K engine. Those improvised XUD repairs in Africa show how truly adaptable French engines can be, but Renault took this concept to an entirely different level. Imagine a single engine design so versatile and reliable that it spread like wildfire across the global auto industry, powering over 15 million vehicles while outliving many of the actual car models it was originally built for. When Renault engineers first sketched out the K9K in 2001, they weren't trying to create history, they just wanted something small and efficient for their compact cars. But this little 1.5-liter engine turned out to be automotive gold. Early versions made a modest 65 horsepower, but what they lacked in power, they made up for in pure adaptability. The K9K's genius lies in its compact size, small enough to fit in tiny European hatchbacks, yet sturdy enough for mid-size SUVs. Modern versions now push out 115 horsepower while maintaining that legendary efficiency that made them famous in the first place. Number 6. Volvo B230 engine. The automotive world has a strange contradiction. Sometimes the most unexciting engines become the most legendary. When Volvo engineers created the B230 engine in 1984, they weren't trying to make history or break speed records. They were building something far more valuable, an engine so overbuilt it would still be starting reliably at negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures 4 decades later. The B230's legend isn't built on fancy technology or cutting-edge design. It's built on walls of iron so thick you could bore them multiple times and still have metal to spare. The crankshaft was forged from the same stuff they make anvils from, and the connecting rods were strong enough to handle double the factory horsepower without breaking a sweat. These engines found their true calling in extreme environments. In northern Sweden, locals tell stories of B230-powered Volvos that sat for weeks in Arctic conditions, then fired up on the first try. In desert racing, teams discovered these boring engines could run all day at redline, while competitors melted down around them. Number 5. Citroën 2 CV flat twin engine. From Swedish brute force to French minimalism, while the automotive world chased power and complexity, Citroën created an air-cooled twin with just 9 horsepower that farmers could repair themselves. This isn't just an engine, it's a masterclass in functional simplicity. The 2CV's tiny flat twin was intentionally designed to be maintained by anyone with basic tools. Need to diagnose a problem? You can usually hear or see it immediately. Complete engine removal takes less than an hour with simple hand tools, something unthinkable in modern vehicles. With no water cooling system, there were no coolant leaks, no burst hoses, and no frozen radiators. This philosophy of extreme minimalism proved astonishingly effective. While the 375 cubic centimeter grew to 602 cubic centimeters, and power eventually reached a modest 33 horsepower, the fundamental design remained unchanged for over 4 decades of production. Number 4. Volkswagen VR6 engine. Ever wondered what happens when engineers ignore the rulebook and create something that shouldn't work? In 1991, Volkswagen introduced an engine that automotive experts condemned as overly complex and impractical, a strange V6 with cylinders so close together they shared a single cylinder head. Yet somehow, these mechanical misfits are still powering cars 35 years later, with original examples crossing 400,000 miles. The VR6 wasn't a traditional V-engine at all. By squeezing the cylinder banks to just 15 degrees apart, Volkswagen created something that looked more like a slightly bent inline 6. This bizarre configuration allowed them to fit 6 cylinders in spaces designed for 4, but skeptics predicted maintenance disasters. Number 3. Rolls-Royce V8 engine. From German ingenuity to British persistence. What if I told you there was an engine designed before the moon landing that was still powering new $300,000 luxury cars in 2020? Rolls-Royce's legendary 6.75-liter V8 didn't just survive through 11 different decades. It somehow doubled its power output while maintaining its signature silk-smooth character that made it the choice of royalty and rock stars alike. This engineering marvel started life back in 1959 as a relatively modest 6.2-liter power plant churning out about 200 horsepower. But that was just the beginning of an incredible 61-year journey. While most engines get complete redesigns every decade, Rolls-Royce engineers kept refining this same basic architecture, gradually transforming it from carbureted simplicity to a twin turbocharged powerhouse pushing 530 horsepower and a massive 811 newton meters of torque in its final form. Number 2. Land Rover TD5 engine. Luxury might impress in Monaco, but what about survival in Mongolia? In 1998, Land Rover engineers were about to be replaced by Ford's team, so they created one final engine, unknowingly building something so indestructible that 27 years later, it would still be powering vehicles through conditions that would make most modern computerized engines surrender within hours. The TD5 2.5-liter 5-cylinder diesel found the perfect sweet spot between technology and simplicity. It had just enough electronic controls to deliver efficient performance, but retained mechanical simplicity that allowed repairs with basic tools in remote locations. This unique design meant these engines could handle contaminated fuel that would instantly clog sophisticated modern injectors. Expedition leaders crossing the Sahara or traversing the Australian outback specifically seek vehicles with the TD5 installed. These engines shrug off 120-degree Fahrenheit heat, filter clogging dust storms, and water crossings that would hydro-lock any other power plant. Number 1. Ferrari Colombo V12 engine. From the rugged durability of Land Rover, we shift gears to pure Italian passion. In 1947, Ferrari unleashed a mechanical masterpiece that would forever change automotive history, the Colombo 512. This wasn't just an engine. It was automotive sculpture that still commands prices higher than most luxury vehicles nearly 80 years later. What makes a Colombo 512 special isn't complicated technology, it's the exact opposite. While other manufacturers chased complexity, Gioacchino Colombo created perfection through simplicity. The naturally balanced 60-degree layout allows these engines to sing at 7,500 RPM without vibration, while the single overhead camshaft design offers reliability that defies expectation. Like and subscribe for more content or check out one of our other videos.